Have you ever gazed upon your surroundings and pondered what everything around us is made of? It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? From the towering skyscrapers to the delicate petals of a flower, from the food we eat to the air we breathe, everything is composed of tiny particles. These particles are so small, so incredibly tiny, that we can't see them with our naked eyes. Yet they form the fabric of everything we know. Unseen by the naked eye, these minute particles are the building blocks of our universe, and they're called atoms. So, what exactly is an atom, you may ask? Well, let's break it down. An atom, in its simplest terms, is the smallest unit of a chemical element that still retains its chemical properties. Imagine it like this. If you take a bar of gold and break it down into the tiniest pieces you can, you'll eventually reach a point where you can't break it any further without losing the properties that make it gold. That smallest piece? It's an atom. Now, what makes up an atom? An atom is composed of a nucleus, which is its central core, housing protons and neutrons. Surrounding this nucleus, in a kind of cosmic dance, are electrons that orbit it, much like planets orbit a star. These tiny, microscopic entities, these atoms, they're not just the smallest unit of matter. They're far more than that. In essence, atoms are the microscopic building blocks that make up everything in the universe. Now that we know what an atom is, let's delve a bit deeper. First off, atoms are incredibly small, so much so that they're almost entirely empty space. Imagine a tiny dot in the middle of an empty football stadium. That dot represents the nucleus, containing protons and neutrons, while the electrons whiz around the stands a vast distance away in atomic terms. This is the sort of scale we're talking about. Quite astonishing, isn't it? Secondly, the identity of an atom is determined by the number of protons in its nucleus. For instance, an atom with 1 proton is hydrogen, while an atom with 6 protons is carbon. It's like a secret code that nature uses to differentiate one element from another. Lastly, atoms don't usually exist on their own. They love company. They combine with other atoms to form molecules. These molecules then come together to create everything we can see and touch. From the air we breathe, the food we eat, to the screen you're watching this video on. It's all made up of atoms. It's a mind-blowing thought, isn't it? These tiny invisible particles, buzzing around in their microscopic world, are the building blocks of everything in our universe. So there you have it, the atom, an invisible world that forms the foundation of our visible universe.